Drop that Slurpee, parents furious after they say cops pulled guns on children for playing. Virginia Beach, Virginia. It has happened again. We first told you the story about several black youth playing basketball when a police officer rolled up in his cruiser and pointed his gun at the boys, demanding they get on the ground. Now, it has happened to another group of boys, this time in Virginia Beach. According to the allegations leveled at police by Damian Jackson, 12, Ken Sidlak, 13, Davian Jackson, 12, and Maurice Victoria, 14, the boys were sitting in the backyard of a home where one of their fathers, Ken Sidlak, 43, had been working. They say they were playing soccer and drinking Slurpees while Ken made a run to the hardware store for supplies. The kids accompanied Ken's father to go and work on the home, which was in need of repair. They're reportedly all honors students, and their school, which is in another district, was on spring break. They also play travel soccer. According to the Virginian Pilot, the boys were confronted by a neighbor who asked if they had permission to be at the home. They said they did and went back to playing. One of the boys needed to use the restroom, so he crawled through an open window to get inside the locked home. While inside, he opened the door for the other boys to come inside. Image, http://pixel.watch/qt7. After being inside for a while, playing video games on their phones wasn't much fun any longer, so Maurice and Ken went into the backyard to play soccer. Damian went to the carport and listened to music, while Davian, his twin brother, stayed inside to keep playing video games. Read more. Cops break into wrong house, arrest innocent children, kill their dog, taxpayers held liable. Police first approached Damian. I heard a voice real loud say, "Come here." I saw 3 cops with guns and 1 cop without a gun, he told reporters. He said a cop came in the house and yelled, "Hey," pointing his gun to Damian's chest the entire time. Damian noticed the officer's finger was on the trigger. I was shocked he was pointing a gun at me. I was like, "Whoa," said the 6th grader. Officers then moved to the backyard where they found the other 2 boys. Maurice said one of the officers yelled at him, "Hey, big guy." Maurice is 6 feet 2 inches tall, but hardly any match for a seasoned officer, as he is still only a child. He said, "Drop the Slurpee," he told reporters. He admitted, "I didn't see the gun, but they, the other boys, all told me about it." Maurice said he was so scared he put down the offending Slurpee, lowered his head, and got on his knees, placing his hands in the air. Ken, too, was holding an offensive object in his hands, a soccer ball. I still had the soccer ball in my hand. He pointed the gun at me and said, "Drop the ball." All I saw was that finger on the trigger, Ken told the press. All the boys were rounded up and taken to the front of the house, where they were forced to sit in a circle while police determined if they were legally allowed to be at the home. After a brief conversation, police then called Ken on the phone to determine for what reason the boys were present at the home during school hours. The explanation was satisfactory for the police, who explained school was not out for students in their district, and they proceeded on their way. Read more. Do not prevent crime, call police instead, neighborhood watch fail. But Ken wasn't done with the officers. Upon learning at least one of the officers pointed his weapon at the children, with his finger supposedly on the trigger and the gun pointed at their chest and their head, he filed a complaint against the officers. Ken, along with little Ken's mother, Georgina Vasquez, filed complaints. An internal affairs investigation was opened. The Virginian Pilot filed a Freedom of Information Act request to receive body cam footage, but the request was denied as the boys involved are all minors. The newspaper spoke with Lieutenant Johnny Gandy, a police spokesman, who said the incident was one of 3 which occurred at about the same time. The Virginian Pilot reported. Gandy, the police spokesman, said there were 2 911 calls that day that led police to the house. One was for an armed robbery involving multiple juvenile suspects in the 4800 block of North Witch Duck Road. The area is 1.3 miles from Sidlak's house. Gandhi said the call came in at 12:31 p.m., which was about a half hour before the officers arrived at Sidlak's home. An incident report said that the call came in at 12:50 p.m. and that no weapon was involved. An 18-year-old and two 16-year-olds were later charged, Gandhi said. The other call, at 12:47 p.m., was for a possible trespassing in the 400 block of Declaration Road, Gandhi said. That's where the home owned by Sidlak is located. No report was filed, he said. Contrary to what the boys allege, Gandhi retorted, no officer is going to point a gun at a kid kicking around a soccer ball. Unfortunately, Mr. Gandhi, we here at the Free Thought Project, beg to differ. Read more. Insane clown posse fans labeled and classified as criminal organization by FBI. As we've reported, police hardly need a reason to point their loaded weapons at anyone. They do so at will, every day. All of which serves to highlight our contention that no officer should be allowed to point a loaded weapon at anyone, anytime, unless of course, another person is pointing a weapon at them. Critics would contend doing so would place police officers in harm's way unnecessarily. But when statistics show that less than 100 of the over 1 million full-time police officers die from gun violence, there's hardly a reason at all to point a loaded weapon at anyone, unless you're trying to kill them. In fact, more officers die in car crashes and from natural causes than die from violent crimes. In other words, driving recklessly to a scene where kids are playing soccer, video games, and listening to music, is much more dangerous than a kid holding a Slurpee or a soccer ball. Keep your guns holstered. Garbage truck drivers have more dangerous jobs. As TFTP has reported, more than 1,000 people die every year when officers shoot them. Children who are playing basketball in the front yard, or soccer in the backyard, pose no threat to anyone and should be treated as children, not criminals. Speaking about his experience with police pointing their weapons at him, Damien said he used to respect officers, but not anymore. Not after what happened. Now I'm just scared of them.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it and each of you gave $1, and that was every month. Oh my God! Yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.